Welcome to the ABQ Accent, where catalysts, innovators, and risk takers share what their accent is on their work. Like a spoken accent, we all have an inflection or emphasis on where we put our energy. Join us to learn how these folks are putting their accents to work, building their vision of the future, and how you can get involved. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm here today with one of my old dear friends, Denise from the Albuquerque Community Foundation. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Mariah. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So today on this beautiful rainy day, we're cozy, we're warm. We're going to get into it a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'd love to hear more about you, and I'm just going to give sort of a synopsis of the overview of your life, which I think it's not only active and activated, but it's creative. And I love how you work in both the nonprofit and the private sector. And to me, your creativity is really on your sleeve, and it's sweet.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
So Denise was raised in Silver City, New Mexico. She got her undergrad at State and her master's is from the University of New Mexico, her MPA with a focus in HR and nonprofit administration, which I'm a little bit jealous about. I love that program.
It's a great program. Yeah.
And although she's been at the foundation for how many years now?
It'll be 10 years in March, which is wild. Yeah, It doesn't feel like it, but...
No, but it's a reason to celebrate.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So in the time that you've been there, I first met you when you were working with the Future Fund Giving Group, which I really appreciate. And then you were also recently promoted to the Marketing and Development Director. Congratulations.
Thanks. Thank you. It's a huge job, but I'm really proud about it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I want to hear more about what that means too in just a minute. But my understanding is that your overall work with the foundation very much is engaged with their student aid program, the social, of course, and marketing in the long run, and that you're very engaged with the foundation events and outreach on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's not it, everybody. As I said, you're really engaged with the community, and as of now, you're on 3 different boards: Big Brothers Big Sisters, Bold Futures very recently, and the Rio Grande Community Development Corporation.
Right.
Girl.
Yeah, busy, right? Why not add more things to my plate? You know?
Just one more, which I think is a good outlet for you.
Yeah.
The dance group called Breaking Even.
Okay,
Okay, cool. So I have yet to see a performance, and I want to hear more about that. Last but not least, of course, in her extra, we'll call it extra time.
Sure. Yeah, we can do quotation marks around that.
She is part of the team for Matchbox Marketing, which I have seen done incredible things over the last couple of years for our city and our small organizations. And so while I want you to describe where you've come from and what you do and let you talk a little bit more, one of the things that I love that the foundation also put on your bio was that if you weren't working at the foundation, you would love to be a writer for Vanity Fair or The New Yorker. And that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I mean, writing is one of my biggest passions in life, and definitely that's why I went to New Mexico State to get my degree in journalism and communication.
Right.
And so not only do I have all these other things going on, writing is kind of an outlet for me, and I wish I had more time to do it. And so that's why I say if I wasn't, hanging out at the foundation, I'd be writing for Vanity Fair, The New Yorker, to do some really cool creative pieces, because you always find some interesting things in those magazines altogether.
You really do. I actually just, confession, picked up a magazine that I had since 2018. I think,
great. Who's on the cover?
Of The New Yorker. It was a whole New Orleans themed.
Oh, cool.
Edition. And the writing in there is just incredible. And so I think that makes sense. I can see you there.
Yeah,
your
definitely.
Name
Yeah. Could do. I mean, maybe I'll just add that to the list of things that I do already.
Yeah, maybe even a bucket list you can contribute.
Sure, right? That sounds like a good idea. Yeah. I'll just get to that next year,
Well, yeah, so tell me, what's maybe a day in the life like, Denise?
Oh my gosh, okay. Well, because I've been working with the foundation for close to 10 years now, days are pretty normal and easy and efficient just because of the nature of the work that we do and being in it for so long.
Right.
In the past, it was really, really busy. But since I've joined the foundation, we've grown to 18 staff members, which is really wild. When I started, I think we were at 6 or 7.
That's what I would have suggested.
Yeah.
That's small. That's more than double. Yeah.
Yeah. So things are much smoother and easier, and we have such a hardworking team that, you can kind of toss the ball to them and they're going to accomplish it, and it's going to be great,
Yeah.
So day in a day is emails. I'm sure all of us have emails every day.
Right.
It's like, I don't know why I went to college to answer emails every day, but that's where I'm at. A lot of meetings, just now that I'm in this director role, there's a lot of big decisions, overarching ideas, and creative plans that we're all working on as a team. And so that requires time to meet. And so that's a big part of my day.
Yeah.
And then if it does require volunteer time, whether it's being at a board meeting for any of the boards that I do serve on. And then, like you said, my creative outlet is breaking even. I've been dancing since I was a little girl, probably 3 or 4, and only took a break maybe for 1 year during my adult life. And then found a dance class when I moved here to Albuquerque, and have been dancing with that same teacher for almost 10 years at this point. Yeah, so she's fantastic and amazing, and really promotes, adult activity and like using your body, and like just because you've left high school days doesn't mean you have to stop what you're doing. So
our bodies love movement, right?
Yeah, definitely do. And I think, that year that I took dance off was like right after moving to Albuquerque and really figuring out what I wanted to do, was when I decided to go to grad school at UNM. It was at that point that I needed to like go back to my creative space, and found the dance class. And so breaking even has been a huge part of my life for the last couple of years. And we've done a couple of performances, and it's been fantastic.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And do you still have one this holiday season, or did you wrap up recently?
Well, we hosted one in July, which was our summer performance, but I'm so excited to tell you about this next performance. It's coming up in February. Or sorry, end of March. No, early March. I'm sorry. There's so many dates in my head. Early March, we're doing an all-female retelling of Dracula.
I love it.
Yeah, so it's going to be very lyrical focused. No actual like spoken word, just maybe a narrator, but all female, very female, powerful driven. And so we've been working on it since the summer, so we're really excited about it.
How'd you decide on that theme?
Our artistic director, Amory, she's an English teacher, and she's like very in love with literature. And Dracula has always been one of her favorite stories. And so it was like, okay, let's tell this story from the female perspective, you know, and show how powerful that can be from a female perspective.
Yeah, that is a classic. Did you guys maybe have a book club to read it?
No, but everybody's been talking about the Keanu Reeves version of Dracula.
Talk to me about
and it's
that.
a little, I personally haven't seen it, but I know that a lot of them are like, it's a little, it's older.
Oh.
And it's just, it's like, of course, it's very masculine. So it's just funny that that's kind of where everybody's kind of heard of Dracula in some space, you know?
We'll have to go back and look. I mean, there's never a bad Keanu Reeves moment.
No, definitely
Maybe a little
not.
corny, but not bad.
Yeah. I think someone said, at the end of the day, so he's in love with a woman. The woman is also in love with Dracula in the story. And at the end of the movie, he's like all gray haired because he cannot like get this woman to love him because she's in love with Dracula. So, it's just it's a good movie. So,
woe is him. I'm excited to see that with the femme performance. Yeah, very cool.
It's gonna be pretty great.
All right.
Yeah,
We'll share the dates on socials.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so tell me a little bit more about the boards that you're on. They're really diverse. These organizations are very different. I don't have a lot of history with Big Brothers Big Sisters. I definitely understand the Rio Grande Community Development Corporation. That's my bad. I'm still working on the acronym. And then, of course, Bold Futures is a newer name from what their original was, but I think they're doing really powerful work.
They sure are, yeah. So, when I moved to Albuquerque, this is also a fun tidbit. I don't have like a Bluetooth in my car, so I listen to the radio very often.
Yeah.
And so I had heard an advertisement for Big Brothers Big Sisters when I got here to Albuquerque. I was like, oh, maybe I just need to find some creativity through volunteering and doing something like this. So it started with the organization as a big sister, moved into a mentorship role after they established their Mentor 2.0 program, and then was asked to serve on the board. So it's the board that I've served on the longest.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, they serve young people who are looking for mentorship or looking for kind of a big sister, big brother peer in their life.
Right.
And going through the program and the different avenues that they have, they're just doing really cool stuff. So yes, I've been serving with them for a while.
Quick question on that. Do they still have the Mentor 2.0, or is it a different, or is that sunsetted, or what does that look like right now?
No, they still do. Yeah,
it's called
still
that, yeah.
They're at Amy Bale High School at this point,
Okay.
and South Valley Academy, and that's where I met my mentee. And now she's 21, which is so wild. And she was in our wedding, and she's a huge part of our life, and I see her pretty often. So it's just a really great experience as
Perfect
a person
example
in the
of
city.
A big sister.
Yeah, she's lovely.
Okay.
Rio Grande Community Development Corp. I've only been with them for about a year and a half now, but was kind of tapped to sit on their board for my marketing and community outreach and social experience, just because they were looking for more support in that area. And my husband and I live close to the South Valley. We live downtown Albuquerque, but it's not very far from where we're at. So, Josue over there is doing like crazy cool stuff, and trying to expand, food services in this entire state, because we do need that. Right. So, I only have so much experience with them so far, but it's been beautiful. Right. And they've been expanding too. Yeah. They've been doing some great stuff. And then recently just joined Bold Futures in the last month, which is wild. I was given a recommendation from a friend who was exiting the board and put my name forward, and did a simple interview with their board chair, and fell in love with the organization and them in general. Yeah. They're just here to support women and the things that they need access to, like healthcare.
Right, imagine that.
Yeah, right. Simple things in life that you wouldn't think you would need to fight for those things. And so I'll start my full, position on the board in January. Yeah. Right so on. Just doing cool stuff.
They're pretty active in policy work too, right?
Yes.
Legislative.
Yeah, definitely so. Yeah.
I love that you are working with organizations that are not, I want to say in the weeds, but that's not really accurate. It's more just like their understanding of the importance of being present every day for the people that they serve.
Yeah.
They're there one-on-one. It's not, they're not separate from who's benefiting or working with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So true.
I'm excited for your work with Bold Futures.
Thanks. Sure. Yeah, I'm excited to get into it, you know.
So how does that look for you? What is your the overarching relationship that you have with Albuquerque? I know that home is Silver City, and you really will not lose that identity and that connection. But since you've been here in Albuquerque for so long, how many years now?
Oh, I moved here in 2012. 2012, so 11 years, almost. No, 10.
Yeah.
No.
It'll be almost 12 years.
Yeah. Math is not my my strong suit. Just putting that out there now.
I think that you've made a critical place for yourself in our city. You're really,
Thanks,
you're tapped for things for a reason.
Yeah.
Because we can tell what your passion is, and that you care about our city, and that you're willing to be there, also present for the people that you're with very, very often all the time.
Yeah. So
tell me a little bit more about your relationship to the city and what you're sort of seeing evolve, and how your work day to day might be actually really contributing to that.
Sure. Yeah. So, like I said, when I moved here, I had lived in Las Cruces. I've lived in Santa Fe. I lived in Taos for a little bit, and all fell in love with this city. And to some extent, I was younger at that time, and there was many things, exciting things to do here, like go out and hang out past 12. Some of those things were not available to me in Silver City or Santa Fe or Taos. Yeah. But what I've fallen in love with most in the city are the people, which I'm sure you may get that often, but I truly, deeply feel like everybody who's involved in the work that I'm in or that I cross every day throughout my work, that they're really, truly, honestly ready to make change and create impact, and have already done so, and trying even harder to get us much more forward. And
Yeah.
so that's really like at the heart of it. And, you know, you can go to like the farmer's market and run into a ton of people that you know, and
Right.
you're like, this is community.
Yeah.
Like, this is what community looks like and how it should feel.
Yeah.
And that's really what it keeps me here and
Mhm.
really wants me, you know, keeps me here to do better and like do more.
Because you're not alone.
No,
Right.
of course not.
The energy
No.
is palpable. For
Yeah.
that kind of change.
Yeah, you can feel it when you're at large places, you
Mhm.
know, or at places with lots of people, and you know that people are there to hang out and have a good time, but also like make a difference.
Mhm.
So I think that's all really great about this place.
Yeah. That's something that you see, like your example of the growers market is one for sure. And then like last weekend when I'm sure you went to the Rail Yards holiday market.
Of course, yes.
Everybody in the city goes.
Yeah.
It's worth it to be there with community. Like, I don't know that I 100% go there to shop. I go there to
yeah.
enjoy who I will see and what I get to enjoy about their the creative space and the place making really that Rail Yards has become.
Yes, for
Yeah.
sure. It's definitely like, you know, that you can just order something online and it'll get here in 2 days or
Sure.
whatever, right? But if you go to the rail yard, you're going to find something completely different
Mhm.
and like out of the box,
Mhm.
which is, those are like the best types of
Yeah.
gifts, right? And the things that mean the most.
Mhm.
And then also too, like, I will say that I go for the food as
Oh,
well,
yeah.
because who doesn't, right?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it was really funny. We got to the winter market. It was like,
Mhm.
so cold.
It was cold.
Yeah, I don't, you know, the weather just suddenly changed on us.
Yeah.
And I had to get a Choco Taco from Pop Fizz.
Which is exactly what?
It's a taco. It's a ice cream waffle,
Mhm.
I guess, or an ice cream cone waffle
Right. In a
with
taco
ice cream
shape.
in the middle.
Yeah.
Yes, and then it has like frozen chocolate on top of it.
At like 11 in the morning.
Yeah, it definitely was. And maybe earlier than
Was
that. Yeah.
Beeline.
Yes, because you like always see it, and you're like, I know that they like discontinued them for a while. I was
Oh.
so sad about it, and then finally they brought them back.
Mhm.
So anytime you can get one, hands down, must get one.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about I was making my beeline to my favorite ceramic artist.
Oh, who's that?
Kathy at Crossed Paws.
Okay, I
She
haven't heard of her.
she's just so fabulous. She lives near Sawmill, and her ceramic colors are based off of dogs that she takes care of.
Oh my
Like
gosh,
she
that's
dog
amazing.
sits like over decades. Like the colors have names, and she will tell you their story, and it's just beautiful. She's a sweetheart.
That's
So
cool.
I always do some Christmas gifts with her.
Okay,
And she had
what a great
ornaments.
idea that is.
Yeah. So I walked out of there, and then there's just a couple other artists that at least we'll say hi to, and I think, and this is something some other folks have said, like you're saying, we're in love with our city because we love the people we run into and we get to meet and we get to work with.
Yeah, definitely so.
Yeah.
And there's so much, like, such great, deep creativity
Mhm.
that you're like, what made you think of doing something like this or
Yeah.
trying something
And creative
like this?
partnerships.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you've heard of Desert Disco or
Yeah.
I forget, or no, Cosmic Desert. I think that's
No.
he does these like amazing paintings of just really cool scapes in Albuquerque
Oh, neat.
attached to like pop culture and like cartoons, and it's just
Ooh.
they're amazing.
I'm going to pull out my phone and look.
Yeah.
Cosmic
Cosmic
Desert?
Desert. Yeah,
Okay.
I think Desert Disco is a
That's-
DJ.
that's
Yes.
right. I was like, totally.
But you know,
Thank you.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, just along those lines, before I want to ask you a little bit more about work,
sure.
this weekend is the opening for St. James and his latest collection.
Oh, cool.
I just
Yes, I saw that come
Really
through.
love- Yeah, I will be
It looks
there.
pretty
Mhm.
fantastic.
Yeah, he's great at curating his opening events
Yeah.
and partnerships. Also, he's collaborated with a couple other artists, as you and I know
Yes,
that we love
for sure.
local stuff.
Yeah.
So, speaking of partnerships,
Sure.
I think one of the things that I not only really love about the Albuquerque Community Foundation is that they're always looking for something creative that is meaningful
Mhm.
in those partnerships with the foundation and nonprofits and other partners
Yeah.
that might not necessarily just be nonprofits. But what have you seen lately, maybe over the last year, or that you're excited for this coming year that you think is
Sure.
really innovative about the work?
Sure. Yeah. So I'll say some cool things that we have done in the past couple of years that have really like intrigued me and
Okay.
also made me interested in more creative spaces in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Every year we've hired an artist to create the front cover of our newsletter.
Oh.
So we've met some really amazing artists and have their art hanging up in our office because they, they'll paint it and then we'll photograph it, put it on the newsletter,
Gotcha.
and then hang it, the actual piece in the office. But that's been an amazing part of getting to know further deep creative culture in Albuquerque. Some things I'm excited for, we've grown significantly, which also means, hey, change is good. Like, let's make some good change. And so we've really been, focusing. We recently updated our mission, our vision, and values in the past 2 years, which also kind of came from the last, our 40th anniversary. And so that's been a huge piece in work that we've been dealing with or working with over the last couple of years. And so with those changes, comes even more significant change, right? Yeah. Like what are our new values?
Ripple effect.
How does that affect our grant making? How does that affect the partnerships we go into or we say yes to? Yeah. Or the people that we work with, are they aligned with what we want to do and the change we want to make? Good, so those are some just really like big things, and I could go deeper if we want to, but we only have like 30 minutes. So,
well, I want you to go deeper, and I think to preface that, I'll just read what the mission is. It's really simple, and I think it's easy to get people's minds around, and its clarity is nice. Our mission is to serve our community by mobilizing and stewarding resources to create equitable opportunity for all. That is a really beautiful expression of the change that has been happening over the last couple of years that we would like many other organizations to take part in.
Yeah.
So give me a couple examples of that.
Yeah. So, it took us a year to get there. So it just took some time and energy and conversation and conversation and
the work.
A lot of change work, right? Or change management. How do we make spaces more collaborative? How do we not, sit at the top of the mountain? How do we, calm down and have conversation? And I think that's also because of the people that we've hired, right? We have a lot of collaborative employees in our office who are part of many different networks, many different communities who just bring so much energy and light to the office.
I love that.
Yeah, so, that's where that really starts and where those conversations begin. Because if we were kind of just, churning through the hamster wheel, when are we going to hop off at that point?
And why would other people want to continue working with you in the same way?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So, some of the huge change work came with our grant making. We've really been focusing on trust-based philanthropy.
No, absolutely.
How do we make grants and you nonprofit, you do what you need to do with that money because we know that you're going to use it for what you have to use it for. Right. There's no need for deep reports or data that you must get to us within a year time frame, right?
Constant check-ins.
Yeah, just not necessary anymore because we know that the work that people are doing in this city matters and is great and impactful.
Right.
And then something that we're focused on for next year, which we've already been kind of doing the groundwork for, is a lot of policy change that policy that exists within the foundation, right? Okay. Within our gift acceptance, money that comes to us, money that goes out the door. What do those policies look like? Are they equitable? Are they aligned with our values? Let's change them. They haven't been changed in 40 plus years, so it's time to look at them.
Check in.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah.
So I will be following up on that. So I would love to read more about what that turns into. And I know, and that's because I feel like you guys are transparent. You're really
for sure.
Yeah, you're outwardly sharing the change, and you're outwardly sharing some of the outcomes of that change. And so I don't feel shy by saying, oh, follow up, because I get to read those policies.
Yeah, no, for sure. They'll be public. And we recently passed a anti-hate statement as well with our board. And so like all of these changes are just making a bigger difference for us, our staff, and those that are working with us. And so, please, I'm happy to be as transparent as possible.
Yeah. Well, the more you say those things out loud, the more maybe other people will hear you and say them as well. And internally, the day-to-day, it impacts the day-to-day practice of the work.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah. Maybe we could back up just a little bit. Can you give me an overview of the foundation? Because I know that there
Sure.
are so many components of it.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And then what are you looking forward to for people that might already not be engaged to engage with?
Okay, yeah, sure. So, community foundations across the country exist for a lot of different reasons, but the main reason is if someone wants to establish a charitable fund with us in perpetuity, they do that through a community foundation. You could do that through many other mechanisms, right? You can give charitable donations to anyone, however you choose, but if you do it with a foundation, your money will be in perpetuity forever. So that's our main goal, right? We want to make sure there's money available for everyone past our lives, past everybody's lives. So you can establish a charitable fund, or you call them endowments, at the foundation. Money's, granted out of those funds every year. Through those funds, too, we have an annual grant cycle, so people can apply for grants through us. So we also are a funder in the city. And then we partner with so many different entities, like the state of New Mexico, different UNM, like different organizations that just need a kind of a home base for different things. We kind of serve as that third party entity in some ways.
And in some cases, a fiscal sponsor?
Yes, we do a lot of fiscal sponsorships, especially if you're not ready to get your 501c3, but you really want to, complete a project or do something really cool. Like Somos ABQ, they were a fiscal agent or sponsor or fiscal partner of ours for a while until they kind of became their own thing. We act as a kind of like a great partner if you're not sure what you want to do with your charitable donations or your program's money. We can help you out with that and make you create a good space for that.
Right.
And then we have, different mechanisms for people just to learn more about philanthropy. If you're unsure if I don't know much about philanthropy, that's a really long word and seems kind of scary, which it can be in some sense.
Right, yeah.
Especially when I started working there, I was like, this is interesting. This is new. So we have different ways that you can learn more about the nonprofit landscape, and just be a part of a community who really wants to also be a part of philanthropy and give and make an impact. So we have the Future Fund, which you mentioned, which was where we met. And so, young donor group of 20 to 40-year-olds, whoever. We never really cut it off, though, so it doesn't matter. Thanks. Yeah, of course. I'm about to reach that place, too, so.
Yeah. I belong. I'm pretty sure I belong.
Yes, you do. Yeah. Always. So you can join this giving circle. There's grant making involved. There's networking. There's events to attend. So, if you're not sure about community or, how to get involved, it's a great place to start.
It is, yeah.
And then figure out what your real passions are to give back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have a couple other, there's a social giving group, which is for folks that might be older and able to give a little bit more every year. Right. Same kind of thing, very, very social networking and also grant giving at a larger scale.
Yeah.
And the newest giving group.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's been so exciting. Yeah. The Pride Circle. So for LGBTQIA plus community, but also for allies. So anybody can join. This is the first giving circle of the foundation to not have a membership minimum. Nice. So you can join at any amount, or you can just join and say that you volunteer your time with any organization that serves that community, And so you can join the Pride Circle at any point, any level.
And they're also very service oriented too, right?
Yes.
Do some service work.
Yeah, especially since we just started this year. We'll do a volunteer event next year.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll see you there.
Yeah.
So I want you to know how much I appreciate your time.
Well, thanks. I appreciate your time. Thanks for making me one of your accents on this
Absolutely.
podcast.
And that's exactly what this is. and it's so much more. We could continually talk about the work. And I just want to leave you with the opportunity to share anything else that you're passionate about and maybe a message or how people can get engaged in what you're doing.
Yeah, sure. So, if anyone's interested in any of the boards that I serve on, reach out. Also with the foundation, if you're curious about philanthropy or you want to learn more about community and the communities that we serve, please reach out.
Check in.
Especially with the changes that we're making and kind of the big steps that we're heading into for 2024.
Right
I would love to see everybody at our performance in March, early March, for Breaking Even.
Yep.
Called Such Unknown Horrors. Really great title.
I can't wait.
And then, like, I think you may have mentioned this, but I have my own marketing company.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you have any marketing needs, or you want to be rebranded, or need social media, I own a company with Hallie Wynn, who we both met at the foundation, and we started Matchbox Marketing in 2019, and has been going strong since then. So we have some really great nonprofit clients, and have some rebrands up in 2024. So
yeah. You do beautiful work, really.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
The two
so
of
much.
you together are match made in the box. You've
Two matches in the Matchbox.
There you go. You knew that. That's what you were going for.
Sure.
Cool. Well, thank you, Denise. I appreciate it. And you know,
of course,
you can always come back and talk about more. And we're going to be sure to share your information on our socials.
Great. Thank you. Well, thanks for having me, and also for the great work that you're doing in the city.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening. Today has been really wonderful. And I just hope that you get to come back again to hear another ABQ accent.